This week on New Neighbourhoods, we are headed to one of the fastest growing areas in Australia, the Sunshine Coast.
How beautiful is it here? It is amazing.
It's stunning. From Caloundra to Maroochydore, people up from all over the country are coming here to live. And it's starting to burst at the seams.
I'm not surprised, really. So if you are looking for house and land here, what is available? What do the locals do for fun around here? The beach, by the looks of it. And what will your investment look like in a few years' time? Well, we have all of the answers.
Welcome to New Neighbourhoods. Queensland.
I mean, you could argue that today it's not so good with the weather. It is freezing and wet.
Well, a little bit of wind and rain doesn't scare me at all. But seriously, the Sunshine Coast is going off right now. So many new neighbourhoods popping up in the area. And who doesn't love the Sunshine Coast? We've got the surf lifestyle, we've got gorgeous beaches, the forestry, the bushland. And thanks to our partners at OpenLot.com.au, we have got the lowdown, the insider access on what's hot, what's building, what's developing, and more importantly, what's it going to cost you?
That's right. Now, I have been to this area before, and specifically the Sunshine Coast, looking at house and land and what's available. And the big thing that people always ask is, well, is there actually even any land to build on? It is slim picking sometimes, that we have found some, and we're going to show you what you can build, where you can build, what life is like when you live here, where the kids go to school, where the locals eat, and a couple of hidden gems. So, in terms of growth and property hotspots, well, this week we're going to be focusing most of our attention on Baringa and Narimba, two really hot new neighbourhoods which are popping up at the moment. Now, on established properties alone, these two suburbs are seeing growth between 10 and 17%. So when we talk about areas of national significance on this show, I think we mean new neighbourhoods that have been built to be pretty much entirely self-sufficient. So when you live here, you don't have to travel very far, if at all, to have access to everything that you need to run your day-to-day lives, because sometimes you have to travel half an hour to a supermarket or wherever it might be. Now, I've been to this area before and looked at house and land, and I always walk away from here thinking, geez, you know, they've nailed it. This is exactly how you do it.
It's exactly how you do it. So we're situated around 8 kilometres from Caloundra. So think surf life, beach life, foodie haven as well. And we're around 80 kilometres from the centre of Brisbane. Now, this is developing into a whole new city, and it's really embracing sustainability, nature, family. Welcome to the City of Colour. Now, we're actually in one of the very many playgrounds that you're going to discover in the area. But even when you first get here, you're hit with vibrancy, with street art, definitely stunning homes and loads of parks as well. Now, one thing I find really interesting is that a third of Aura is actually dedicated to conservation and open spaces, but then it's linked with all of these cycleways, walkways and bus links.
This is Aura Brook, and it is amazing. The whole crew love it here. So what they've done is they've crafted an ingenious, almost like a creek line here. They've used boulders and native grasses and beautiful trees. You're going to grow massive. There's also an enchanted garden themed park here as well. There's seating, walkways, bikeways. It is just an absolute vibe. Now, it serves two purposes, because number one, not only will it be a great place to hang out if you're a resident here, but number two, it's actually a beacon of sustainability. So it's taking all the water runoff from the estate, it is filtering it, purifying it, and then sending it all the way back to nature. And you're a mum, I mean, kids would love this, wouldn't they, the younger kids?
It's not just the kids though that love it. As a mum, especially when you've got young kids, you need places to take them. You need to go out with your coffee, with your snacks. You know, you spend all days, you know, walking around and playing, and you need that time, because otherwise you go kind of stir crazy in the house.
Yeah, and that's what Stockland do really well. They always build communities with families at the centrepiece, which I think is really beautiful, you know.
It is. So there's already a really well-established retail centre with an IGA, a tavern, 7-Eleven, a medical precinct, and lots of stores which, you know, are really quite handy. But being a mum, I want to know we're not going to struggle for choice of schools. There are 4 state-of-the-art schools, a Catholic school which has just opened, and 2 childcare centres.
So this is a really swanky end of town. This is called the Avenues. I love it here. So they're putting in parks. There are quite large houses there, townhouse living as well around here. So there's a bit of something for everyone around here. And they're just future-proofing this. It's so beautiful. And speaking of the future, there's a proposed town centre which they're about to build, and that's going to be 90 hectares. There are going to be entertainment venues. There are going to be like cafes and restaurants and dinings all along this precinct that's going to be next to a Brisbane-styled lagoon area. Can you imagine? You know the one in South Bank?
Oh, I can 100% imagine that with kids, but also the Sunshine Coast weather with that lagoon precinct. Oh, how beautiful.
You've got kids, they'd love all that, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
And if they're not exhausted by the end of the night from that, then one of the 25 parks which they can play around here will certainly do a good job of doing that for you. So they're saying that pretty much every house around here will be no further than 400 metres away from a park. So
That's incredible.
They've really thought that through, haven't they?
Yeah.
Sporting ovals, parks, bike lanes. You're going to be fit living here.
Having a wander through here, you can really feel how lush and see how lush it is and premium it is.
It feels homely as well, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so beautiful, and it has all the attention to detail that you come to expect from Aura. So tree-lined streets, you've got winding streets with these beautiful little neighbourhoods dotted around as well.
Yeah, it is super homely, like I said, but also there are first home buyer options, there are terraced housing options here. There's a bit of something for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah, and there's, I think, 20,000 new homes set to be developed here. And then there's this hugely popular display village. I gotta say, Queensland, you get it right every time.
They do it better, don't they?
They actually do. Now, bring the kids down, come for a drive, check out the parklands, check out the parks, have some lunch as well, and then you can also jump online and discover it. Just search Stockland Aura and it'll have all the details.
Now, there is a cafe behind us with cold drinks, shall we?
100%. The Sunshine Coast is essentially a 60-kilometre stretch. So you've got the northernmost point, which is Noosa, and you've got the southernmost point, which is, say, Caloundra. And then you've got all these little towns dotted in between, and you may have heard of some of them. So you've got Mooloolaba, you've got Caloundra, you've got Maroochydore, and Budrum. So we've got beach, we've got surf, we've got forestry, bushland, foodie haven, shopping haven, amazing developments happening here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
Airport.
The weird thing where the Gold Coast was and all that area maybe 25, 30 years ago, I feel like this is where we're at now here. And that's why smart people are moving up here and investing in land, investing in property and investing in their lifestyle.
This is definitely a lifestyle.
Hey, Brooke. So you're a local.
I am.
So-
I have my shop here, I live up the road, don't leave the postcode very often.
do you want people living here or
Look.
would you keep it a secret?
Bit of both. No,
Yeah.
the community here at Mooloolaba is amazing. Like everything, the wharf's a wonderful place to be. We've got beautiful restaurants. Everyone knows your coffee around the corner. It's a really, people know your name. I've got my locals that I absolutely love coming in the store. And it's a very good place to live.
I bet they love coming into this store because you have some beautiful pieces. Everything is curated, everything looks gorgeous, but it still just gives me this Sunshine Coast vibe, which I love.
Absolutely, and it's all, people first, definitely. We like to have smaller amounts of things so it turns over quicker. Not everyone's wearing the same thing. It's more personalised service. So.
I've got my own like green frock over there.
It's a special one. I reckon we can work that.
Now, Emmylou, I have spent much of my TV career on and off exploring houses, old houses, new houses, renovating farmhouses, visiting display homes. But there is something so inspiring about a good display home, because they put the smelly candles in and you walk in and you feel amazed. They have all the interior design, the vases.
You have taught me so much because there's several restrictions when going in to buy a new home, and this is all very new to me. And one thing that you pointed out was the fact that before you go pick out your home or build your home, you have to pick out that land first. That's really important.
No, you're learning quick. Every day is a school day. You do, because you might go to some estates and also actually you can't build a 2-story here in that particular block of land. when you visit display homes, go and walk inside the houses which you don't necessarily like the look of from the outside. Go and think outside the box, because you might be surprised when you get inside. And speaking of inside and surprises, there's a bloke in there who's from Metricon, one of Australia's biggest and best builders, and they build so many houses in Queensland. What they don't know about homes and the way Queenslanders live is not worth knowing. I mean, Cody, hello, welcome to the show. This is how you house. Yeah. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
Emmylou, just wondering if you can just leave for the weekend and leave us the key. We might have a party here. Great to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show.
No if people are moving to the Sunshine Coast, they're coming to Aura, what can they expect from the display homes, and the trends that they should be looking out for, or what you're actually seeing happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're seeing a lot of buyers coming up from New South Wales and Victoria looking at, minimum 3 or 4 bedrooms, room to grow the family, and that integration of, indoor and outdoor living. So they're taking design options like grand outdoor rooms and, more space for that external living, and good integration for the heart of the home, the kitchen and how it flows on out, because they spend a huge amount of their time, entertaining outdoors.
What are some of the more common floor plan changes which people are opting into? Because when you think about a display home, you go to one like this is all the bells and whistles. Yeah. What are some of the most popular?
Yeah, obviously increasing door heights and window heights to let in that natural light's a pretty popular change, as well as the grand outdoor room or even the second outdoor room, so they can have multiple kind of living areas outside. And we do see a lot of things like rake ceilings and cathedral ceilings. Obviously that scope and volume we see is very popular. And then sometimes you'll see things like the guest suite downstairs. So if they do have family, from interstate coming to join them, they do have that, separate master suite for them to be staying in.
You hear kind of horror stories about, building and how long it takes and those kind of things. And Metricon has this amazing reputation of having this really smooth building plan. How do you ensure that, if I was coming in, how do I ensure that I do have a smooth building plan?
Yeah, of course, good question. So the two biggest things we find is usually cost blowouts and then timeline blowouts. So they're the two biggest problems that we find our customers face. So we do obviously have fixed site costs and a very fixed pricing and transparency up front, which we find is key. No one wants to be hearing about excess costs further down the track. The second thing's timeline and transparency around how long it's going to take not only to build the home, but how long it's going to take to site start. We do find the big question is how long it's going to take to get through council and that type of thing. So transparency around that. So we do have a fast track program that encapsulates that pre-site journey and the time on site with building in as little as 17 weeks.
So one thing that I'd love to know is, does Metricon cater to that multi-generational living? So having those amazing guest bedrooms and things, so you can have all of your family living in under the one roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, especially with cost of living, it's been a larger topic recently. So a lot of our floor plans do have what we call standard design options for an extra guest suite, whether it be downstairs or at the other end of the home, to give that separation of living if you do have multi-generations living under one roof.
I'm super grateful for your insights, mate. Thank you so much. And,
no problem at all.
We're just wondering, Emmylou and having a bit of a chat, and wondering how long we would need to stay here to be able to claim squatters' rights.
Longer than what you have today, I think. Yeah.
And secondly, is there any wine in those fake bottles in the fridge?
There is for contract signing appointments, absolutely.
Because this is so new to me. I know nothing about display homes, building, anything like that. I have an investment property in WA, but again, it was an investment property. It's an older house.
This is going to be your next move.
This is going to be my next move.
And the number one thing I always say to people is, before you build off the plans, trust your builder. Trust is so important. And if you can trust them, you can have a great experience from start to finish. Indulge yourself. Take a minute. Have a look on their website and just think, one day, wouldn't it be nice? And look at their display homes. You'll find them all online, like we did, at Metricon.com.au. Now, should we make a cocktail? So what is life like living on the Sunshine Coast? No idea, because I've never lived here, but I've got a couple of great suggestions.
Well, you do come here a lot.
I've been here a lot in my life, actually. And this area here is called The Wharf, and it's all been redeveloped over the last 20 years or so to have beautiful boutique clothing stores, which you'd love, Tick. They've got amazing restaurants, seafood trawlers, and I'm going to take you to one of my favourite places. It's called The Dock. Window, ocean views, and a seafood platter to die for. Those boats are so beautiful.
I know.
So, I reckon we should get one of your famous seafood platters, please.
Seafood platter.
And 2 full-strength soda waters.
2 full-strength soda waters.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys.
A little much.
Hope you're hungry. I'm pretty sure we've got some hungry crew
Yeah.
hanging around like seagulls at the moment, ready to pounce at any minute. So let's have a look at OpenLot.com.au and see what we've got in terms of growth and things here. So between 10 and 17% is that sweet spot for growth with established properties, but what's new properties doing? Well, it's actually quite new here. And I think since COVID, prices of land have boomed, have skyrocketed, and also, you know, people's return on investments for new build as well has gone up to that 20, 30, 40% return, which is amazing.
Yeah, and then I was reading that by 2046, there's going to be over 500,000 residents here.
Squally winds 1 minute, sunshine the next, and all the bits in between, right? But we can deal with that.
It's still such a vibe, and you can see why thousands and thousands of people are moving here and predicted to move here as well. Like, the sea change is real.
I always say there's a couple of hot tips that you need to take on board infrastructure-wise to make sure your life is worth living there. Of course, good roads in and out of the estate, okay? So good schooling, good sporting facilities, and very importantly, a great pub.
Apart from that, good internet. Like, no one wants a weak signal, no one wants to be hotspotting off their phone. You want to be able to do it all, you know? So that is super important. I've got someone, his name's Andrew, he's from NBN, and he's here to tell us all of the things we need to look out for, what we can ask for, what plans are available when it comes to NBN. I have been hearing, well, Walt's actually been telling me, because he's a wealth of knowledge on this stuff, that people are actually choosing not to move into areas that don't have really great internet. So why should we choose a community development that has an NBN infrastructure?
It's the first advice I give anybody looking at building or buying a brand new home, is to think about the digital connectivity, to ask their property developer whether their development has been built with NBN by name, because NBN and connectivity into homes is absolutely essential for modern day life. People are working from home, learning from home, entertainment from home, connection from home, even healthcare from home. And the world is changing quickly. People are seeing digital connectivity into homes as being a really important feature, not just for the time that they live in it, but also for the resale value of the property down the track, because the world is changing so fast.
I can tell you one thing is for sure, that I will never live now in an area that does not have NBN.
The average home today has something like 25 internet connected devices in their home. We're saying by the end of the decade, it'll be something like 45. It's phenomenal. I checked my home before I left this morning. I've got 24 devices actually connected, so I might be quite average. Yeah.
So why is it good for business in developers to partner with NBN?
Yeah, well, you look at a community like what's being built here by Stockland at Aura. These communities, they're massive projects, and people are moving in and need to be living and enjoying their lifestyle from day one. So our working with property developers is ensuring that we're bringing the internet connectivity and making it available to residents before they actually move in. And that's why we value working with property developers like Stockland during the construction phase of the site to make sure connectivity is available from day one.
So you're going in there at the early planning stages
We are.
and saying, when you're digging that channel, you need to leave room for our infrastructure in there as well.
Absolutely.
You're an entrepreneur, you've got kids,
I work
you've got
from
mobile
home.
phones, you work from home.
Yeah, and my whole life is digital, right? I create content, I'm editing, you know, we need a whole lot of stuff that's happening, plus just the normal day-to-day things of the kids and all the devices around the house. So that makes a huge amount of sense, and I've never actually really thought about it, to be honest with you.
That's one of the challenges is connectivity has become such a core part of our lives. People assume it to be ubiquitous, but when you're making the biggest investment of your life, when you purchase your home, it's one of the questions you do want to ask your developer: has this place been built with NBN?
Oh, 100%.
And some of the choices a new homeowner can make during the building of their home can really boost the experience. So thinking about
What like? Give us that info.
So one of the things that people tend to forget is we have fibre cables running down the street, and then houses get built in a subdivision, and we need to get the cabling from the street into the home, and there's the right time to do that, which is when the home's still under construction. So NBN will come out to site, deploy the network from the street into the home while the home is still under construction.
And if you go to the NBN website, we'll put all those links on our website, you can search your address, your future address, and it will kind of tell you what you have available, what might be coming online, what the future plans are. There are even guides on there for setting up the best outcome for your Wi-Fi placements, like you touched on. It's
Absolutely.
a fascinating world.
Yeah.
My advice is if your new neighbourhood doesn't have NBN connectivity going in there, go somewhere else. Thanks for joining us, mate. Really appreciate
Absolute
it.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Andrew.
thank you.
Thank you.
Honey, baby.
Oh my God, the weather.
The weather is crazy, but I love it. I am loving this right now. I'm a Melbourne girl, so this just suits me just fine.
And there's something really, beautiful about the ocean, even in winter.
Oh
well.
yeah, the
waves
roaring,
crashing.
the roaring ocean. Like the waves are so big, and but look, everyone's still out. Like this is such we're at Moffat Beach right now, and it is such a vibe. It's
Yeah.
so busy.
Having you by my side.
Well, a massive show. Absolutely
So
huge
huge.
show. And of course, in typical Queensland fashion, it was sunny this morning, we got sunburned, and now we're about to get flooded out with cyclonic conditions. Love that for us.
Yeah, I like the ebbs and flows of changing weather. I'm a Melbourne girl.
Queenslanders have the cheek to talk about the Melbourne weather as well. It's hilarious. Well, we hope you've enjoyed watching today's show. And, as always, you can go to OpenLot.com.au, which are our partners, and there you can get some behind-the-scenes intel on what land and what house packages are coming online over the coming months.
It's been such a pleasure to discover the area. I've had the best time. Now, if you do want to revisit today's stories or any of the other episodes as well, or check out some of the prices from the lots, you can go to our website, Neighbourhoods.com.au.
And of course, you'll find links at us on Facebook and Instagram. Let's go and get dry. Till the next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.